Okay. So this week's review, looking at DXY first, this is where the week opened. This was last week. We still have this monthly FEG that I was looking to trade down to this week for reasons explained in other videos. But this is the week we got. Extreme, like very doji looking. High didn't take this high, low took this low. And get into the daily. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday traded down. Tuesday we got a strong rejection back up above the weekly opening, which somewhat signifies that we could be looking for higher prices above these highs. But Wednesday we got another shot like fucking what am I trying to say? We got another move back down, which kind of invalidated that idea. So we'll go down to the 1 hourly. So this type of trading week where our original bias was to trade down into this monthly FEG, which we started, but we rejected off this fair value gap, moved up, and then, so this was Tuesday's range, moving up. We wanted to see these fair value gaps be respected to confirm that we were trading up to take potentially these highs and maybe somewhere into here, feel this imbalance, I don't know. But once we traded straight through these fair value gaps, we were kind of set for a in-between week because we got Monday down, Tuesday up, Wednesday down, and now it's kind of difficult to be able to frame what was happening for the week. So I only took the one trade that I reviewed before, and that was just I was getting impatient with the week. I wanted to place a trade. I wasn't seeing anything, and I placed a silly trade that I shouldn't have placed because I wanted to trade, and it was somewhere. It was somewhere in here. Friday, like 2 o'clock, somewhere there. So if we look at Euro USD, the only difference is Euro USD made a high here, and DXY, if we go back to the daily, 14th of April, 26th of April, 14th of April, 26th, DXY did not make the same. So that shows that we potentially had a manipulative move on the Euro USD, because since DXY didn't want to make lower prices, it doesn't seem that Euro USD is going to continue to trade above this high. So I didn't notice this at the time, reflecting on it. I do notice it now. Since DXY, like I said, didn't make this high, we could expect bearish prices for Thursday, Friday, and expect to look for something there. But we didn't see it, so that's okay. If we let's see the right week. It's not even the right week. Fuck it, okay. That's not even the right week either. Oh my god. Oh, I'm on the fucking 2 hourly. This is the right week, can confirm. So we've got Sunday. Monday. Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday. And this is Friday's range. So obviously it's going to be a similar type of thing. It's just going to be the inverse of the DXY, except we'll analyze this high being taken. So again, my bias for DXY was bearish, so my bias on here was bullish, and we also had this monthly fair value up in here, which, surprise, surprise, is what we traded into, and that's probably why we had the divergence to get this manipulative move up to fill this gap and then trade down. So if we look at the hourly, we had price move up, which was the original bias of the week. This traded lower, so on actually on this day I was actually looking for a short move here because let me think about it. Because we had this move up and then we rejected off this rejection block / order block, whatever you want to call it. I think they're different, but I haven't learned them yet, so I don't understand them yet. And then we also got on Tuesday, sorry, don't worry about it, but we traded into this fair value gap and this rejection block, move lower, and like I spoke about on DXY, I wanted to see price trade up, react to one of these areas. So if we look in the 4 hourly, I want to see price react to here or here, come down and target this built up trend line liquidity, but we didn't end up getting any type of opportunity to do that. We got a slight, on Wednesday. The only thing I saw was the only thing I saw was off here. We got some type of reaction. We got okay, this was it. We took this high in the rejection zone. We moved lower off of this, came back, filled the gap, and then traded lower, but we got this move up, which is the manipulation into this zone, while DXY traded higher. So this should have technically traded lower, but it didn't. It did trade lower actually, but didn't take the low like Euro USD took the high. So that was the only real thing I was looking at for the week. And just to verify or clarify again, Monday traded up, Tuesday came through all of Monday's up, Tuesday traded through all of these, took this low. So moving up, I wanted to see a reaction of somewhere in here, specifically the 4 hour fair value gaps, which are here off this order block, and potentially here if it was a lot weaker than expected, and then a move down into this liquidity, which we didn't get, so we didn't place a trade other than my impatience on Friday just wanting to be in a setup. So that's all that I can really break down for Euro USD. The bias changed a few times, and then by the end, if we look DXY at the weekly opening price here, trade below it, above it, below it, above it, below it, above it, and that's textbook example of a consolidation week. So once we got below it, above it, below it, once we traded back towards it, or even here, you could kind of see below it, above it, below it. Then once we started trading back towards it, it really wasn't a week worth trading because it's clear consolidation when we go back towards that opening price many times. But again, once more, looking at Euro USD. Actually, we'll just do it on DXY, same thing. we had a trend below, an aggressive move up, taking the high, which is somewhat textbook for something bullish. Since we traded lower below the weekly opening price, aggressively traded higher, we could have potentially seen expansion, and our targets would have been all this liquidity before then trading lower into the monthly fair value gap. But since we took this low, that was invalidated, and we had a week of just not knowing where price wanted to go, and that's what ended up happening. If we look at the daily, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, very difficult week to trade. Very, very difficult week to trade. I would have been prouder of myself if I didn't trade it at all, but the fact that I took the little trade on Euro USD towards the end of the week is just, it happens, it is what it is. I learned from it. I'm a rookie trader, I made a rookie error, but I'm not going to do it again. All I need is a lesson once, I didn't need it twice. Having a look at gold, same type of week. Where did the week start? I'm not going to go into too much depth in gold because I didn't trade it. The only thing I'm looking for at gold, on gold, is to get below all these lines. Delete. The only thing I'm looking for on gold is to get below these lows into somewhere in that area, see our entry model off it with some bullish aggression. Preferably the best area would be this BPR. So somewhere around 1900. If you go on the daily, we've got a little order block here, trendline liquidity, 4 hourly, and yeah, it's just the same thing. I don't really trade gold, so that's the only thing I'm looking for. If we can get down into this level, I can get aggressive move up and a safe stop, because gold's so expensive. I can't trade with a larger stop. Like, I can't swing trade this, which I don't usually do anyways, but I'd like to get in a position here and then just hold until we potentially break these new highs, which I am expecting from gold at some point or another. I'm still bullish on gold, but I'm not bullish until this happens. Anything else to break down? I'll break down the S&P, and then that'll be me done. So the weekly we had in here, which we traded down into throughout the week. We had this order block, which we traded again pretty much very, very precisely into. So this is a better way to do it. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. And just knock out the weekly open. Choice. Okay, cool. So we traded lower, below this sell side liquidity into this weekly imbalance, and then we got a push up. So really, looking at this, yeah, below the sell side into the weekly imbalance, I didn't even look at S&P this week. or if I did, I didn't notice this. So easy looking at it in hindsight, but I understand why it did it, so now I just need to pull the trigger on when I see it happening and learn. My high time bias honestly isn't too bad. I just need to learn how to find that entry, because in my mind I need it to retrace 50%. But if it's a nice aggressive move like this, why would it retrace 50%, you know? So looking at the 1 hourly, we got to move up above these into this imbalance. Trades down, we get slight fill. Trades down, take sell side into the imbalance, and then we trade up. Once we saw this get disrespected or invalidated, it's probably a better word, and then we could have been looking to get long. So let's have a look at the 15 and see where we could have got long on this. So not much going on here. I'm just going to mark out that imbalance, which was this. So yeah, once we traded above this high, we have to have an upper target. Like, why did it trade this high? We had these equal highs. Let's look at 4 hourly. What reason did it have to come and trade above these highs? Give weekly again. This. So let's see what's high is 4175.1, 4176.4. Wow. So we barely take this high, but looking at the weekly, we had a move all the way down, fill this imbalance, and off this imbalance, you instantly should have been looking towards these highs. So, bang, taken so beautifully. So let's have a look at where we could have got an entry here. Realistically, once these were broken so aggressively, I could have got in anywhere along here, preferably lower, and tucked a stop under there. But we put in you have to think like the algorithm. Why is the algorithm doing this? The algorithm puts in this high, doesn't take these lows, doesn't take these highs, rejects off of it. Retail's thinking resistance, comes into, yeah, that looks like resistance. No, it's equal highs. We traded into this imbalance, which is probably a larger imbalance on a higher time frame. No, it's not. I'm tripping. We trade into this imbalance towards this type of, I wouldn't call that an order block, but it's something. And then we trade up, so we could have got in potentially here. And then this was our weekly open. When we got the rejection off the weekly open, we took these highs, got some move off the weekly open, rejected these imbalances, which shows that we're trading higher. So when that happened, and this is where we actually get an OTE entry. So from here, we get below 50 at least, and into this imbalance and close to this imbalance. Previous these things. So here, when we took this high, traded lower into the imbalance, we get aggressive move up, take these highs. Where's the next target? This high. We trade lower into the imbalance below 50, so we could have got in at 50. Stop would have been, it's a tough one for the stop, but say we went at 50, stop here, target here. It's a nice 1.7 trade into this high, but it's tough, because this is Thursday. Friday starts here. Are you expecting it to happen before the week? Yeah. Are you expecting it to happen before the weekends? I don't know. So preferably above these highs somewhere. Once we see this, stop there. Would have been a very nice entry, and we would have targeted these highs. Move down. Another entry here. That one I don't know about because I don't know where I'd put my stop, and I don't think I'd be confident with it moving up. But once this high was taken, anywhere once we got a retracement would have been nice. But I'm not expecting to nail every trade. I'm learning why the market does what it does, and I have a clear definition of why everything on the S&P, the Euro, the DXY, not gold because I don't look at gold, why it all happened throughout this week. So next week I'll be more equipped to be able to pull the trigger when I'm uncertain because I've seen it before. I don't need to be profitable now. I don't need to make money now. I don't need to make my account back now. If we look at it, I'm not logged in. I'm down $105, which is 10.5% on the account. I don't need to make it back right now. I don't need to get everything right now. Everything right now. I just need to keep working, keep understanding why the market does what it does. Take obvious setups. Don't force trades, and be confident, but don't force trades. Okay, there's a difference between forcing a trade, looking at like the fucking 5 minute, 3 minute, just trying to find any entry I possibly can. 5 minutes, okay. Anything below the 5 minutes, silly for me. And just being able to take the trade and understanding while we're in consolidation to be wary. I don't need massive 3, 4, 5 to ones. I just need to get the ball rolling, be working on it. I'm still practicing. At the end of the day, a few $100, like obviously don't want to lose a few $100, and I don't plan on losing fucking 20, 30% of the account. But it's okay to take trades, lose, and learn from them. Failure defines success. I have to embrace the failure. I have to embrace being wrong. I have to embrace that I'm still in that learning phase and work on myself and my trading. This isn't about being right now. This isn't about making money right now. It's about learning. So, which I am. I've made a lot of progress just in the last month since I started making these videos because it really holds me accountable. It makes me speak out my thoughts. But yeah, as I work more and more, I'll get further and further ahead. There's nothing else I really want to look at. We'll have a quick look at the news that happened last week. Don't care. Thursday and Friday had the USD red news. Let's have a look at 10:30. 10:30 Oz time, which is 8:30 USD time on the DXY. Yeah. There's too much hype given to red news. Look at this. Who cares? Other than CPI and non-farm, who cares? Just don't hold a position and see it. Both sides get taken, and then the market just goes back to normal, doing what it wants to do. So don't hold into red news, and then be confident to trade afterwards if you feel like understand, or have a high probability of where the market's going to trend after the news. But yeah, not a bad week, not a good week, but I'm happy. I'm satisfied with the week.